Just want to apologize for being a couple minutes late here. We had a committee meeting ahead of time, so we apologize. We got a little late start here. Thank you for bearing with us. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Merriman?
Here.
Mr. Matter?
Here.
Dr. Scarpone?
Present.
Fiscal Officer, Solicitor Jake Lynn?
Present.
Mayor Mike Petrola?
Present.
And Jessica Sagi, Administrator?
Here.
Mr. DeStefano?
Here.
Mr. Spence? And Mrs. Dameron is absent.
All right, will everyone please stand for a moment of silence in the pledge? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Everyone take a moment. We have the meeting minutes that we need to approve from February 2nd, 2023 meeting. Those were the minutes that needed amended.
I'll put forth the motion.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Matter?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay.
All right, next we have the February 16th, 2023 minutes. If everyone needs a moment to read that over.
There's just two corrections on this. So where I said the contract, the out, it should be them. And then on page 4, Jason asked when, bulk pickup would be. It says Jason is bulk pickup.
That would be.
He caught that one, I didn't. So I'd say put forth the motion with those two changes.
So moved.
I'll second it with those clerical changes only.
No bulk.
No bulk.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Matter?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Sorry about that.
All right. Next up, is there anybody wishing to speak before council this evening? Okay. Next, we have our ordinances and resolutions. Are you reading those?
I can read my title if you want.
Okay.
Read my title. The first resolution tonight is resolution number 2023-02, a resolution appointing Jake Michael Lynn as village solicitor for the village of Wintersville and establishing compensation and declaring an emergency. Suspend the rules.
What's that?
Suspend the rules.
I'd like to get a motion to suspend the rules for the emergency read of 2023-2.
Second.
So moved in a second. We have it over here.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Matter?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Now, another to approve them. Can I get a motion to approve ordinance 2023-2?
So
We have to have
moved.
the second and third read and then approve them.
That was what you just suspended.
Suspended.
So we suspended the second and third and just zipping on through?
Yep.
No.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay.
The second ordinance is ordinance number 2023-03, an ordinance providing for retroactive pay raises for a village employee.
Put forth the motion.
excuse me, and this is a first read.
That's a first read.
Oh, it's a first read?
That's
Okay.
first read.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry.
Second, and the next ordinance is ordinance number 2023-04, an ordinance creating and adopting section 15102G of the codified ordinances of the Village of Wintersville, which will create a referral bonus for current employees. This is a first read also. The next ordinance is ordinance 2023-05, an ordinance creating and adopting section 15102H of the codified ordinances of the Village of Wintersville, which will create an accrued time bonus for village employees.
It's a first read.
This is also a first read. The next ordinance is ordinance number 2023-06, an ordinance providing for amending and revising the appropriations and expenditures for the Village of Wintersville for the calendar year 2023 and declaring an emergency.
So we need a motion to suspend the rules?
Yes.
I'll make that motion to suspend the rules on ordinance 2023-6.
Second. Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Now to approve ordinance 2023-06, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay.
All right. That's our ordinances for this evening. Just want to touch light on Resolution 2023-02, which has to do with our village solicitor and adopting a new compensation for Jake. We had multiple discussions with him. We had a discussion at a finance meeting, and diving in a little deeper, we figured out a new pay scale for Jake, comparing it to other places and the amount of work that we have for him. So to move this village forward efficiently, that is why we needed to pass it as an emergency. So if anyone has any questions, that is why we had to pass it quickly.
What about 2023-6?
Thank you. 2023-6, our traveling clerk, Melanie Smith. She has seen a lot of different appropriations, I guess to say, that were incorrect. These ones, for the temporary appropriations that she got rid of, the contingencies were not needed. The village has been doing it that way for a long time, but it's actually incorrect. So to move this into line items, that is why we had to do that emergency very quickly to help with our pay a bill that we have here for property tax. So that's why we needed to pass that as an emergency, because I believe that's due March 15th. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
The rest were all first reads.
Are you going to touch base on that property tax, or?
I will in a few minutes.
Okay.
Yep. You guys are rushing me this evening. I know it's late, but jeez.
Trying to catch you up.
So you're like taking the money from accounts that they were in and appropriating them to another account? Is that
Yeah,
in summary that's what it is?
Yes, so you'll see on the paper, it says general, then water and sewer, and it says contingencies. That fund is not going to exist, and she's moving them under the tax collection fees.
Thanks.
Yep. All right, on to reports and announcements. First with the magistrate report. The city revenue for the month of February was $8,159.11. The state revenue was $1,784.89. Other revenue was $662.04. For total revenue for the month of February 2023, $10,606.04. Our police report for February 2023, we had 118 complaints, 158 incoming calls, 16 accidents, 21 cases, 5 juvenile cases, 59 traffic arrests, and 4 criminal arrests. Code enforcement for the month of February 2023. We had 9 licenses purchased for $675 and 5 permits for $275 for a grand total of $950 for February. Couple announcements. Thunder in the Ville will be June 23rd and 24th. That is a Friday and Saturday. Fireworks are prepared to go off for Saturday, June 24th. FOP Lodge 97 will be having their annual golf outing Sunday, June 11th. I will get you more details as I get those as well.
Isn't Indian Creek having a bash here on the 11th?
I don't know. Does anyone know?
I think I saw that online. In
I think, is it?
Oh,
March
March
Indian Creek
11th.
Sportsman's Bash?
yeah, the
you go.
Sportsman Bash.
Thank you. All right. I see Mr. Lockhart is not here tonight. Mrs. Prentice, do you have anything for us, Charlene?
Yes.
Please come on up. Just state your name.
Good evening, Mayor, Administrative, Council Members. I'm Charlene Prentice. I did talk to the president of SVRTA about council members of Wintersville about the benches out here by the bus stops. And our meeting's not till March 16th, right before the meeting for here. So I won't be able to give you really any information on that until March 16th. That's all I have, and they're still trying to purchase more buses, getting prices on them. They're going as far as Michigan, even been there traveling. They're looking at buses. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
Charlene. All right. Moving on to the mayor's report. I will ask our solicitor, along with counsel. I was forwarded an email from a caring place. They would like to know if we would pass a resolution declaring April Child Abuse Prevention Month. Caring Place is located here in the village of Wintersville. And they did send a copy of what other cities and villages do as a resolution, so I can give that to Jake. And they also asked any of us can be there to present it if it does get passed at the courthouse on April 4th. Next one, we were also asked if we would do a resolution. Steubenville Rotary Club is having their 102nd anniversary this year. They have chosen to have their dinner actually in the village of Wintersville, and they would like to see that the village representatives get involved. If we would pass a resolution just acknowledging their 102nd anniversary and it taking place here within the village.
I missed the date. Did you say a date on that?
The date on that one,
One second. Isn't it?
Celebrated April 26th at St. Florian Hall. Next, just want to thank Teddy, Randy, George, Seth, Skylar, the County Water Department, our Administrator, Jesse Kasegi, Councilwoman Penny Scarpone, Council President Randy Spence, Cedar One, Patty from Duncan. We had a lot of people involved in the major water line break that we had. We had an 8-inch main oh boy, I can't talk. 8-inch main line break that was main distribution line for the village. So just want to thank everyone really, stepped in, got involved, played a major role. The Wintersville Police Department, they jumped in, were able to get us some cruisers to help with some of the traffic out there, along with everybody else jumping in, whether it be bringing the guys donuts, coffee, lunch, working traffic, making sure guys were safe. Our guys and a couple county guys, myself and our administrator, we were trucking through the woods. It was a long evening, a long morning, and then a long day to try to find that break, and I applaud Jesse very much. He looks a lot different in bibs than he does in that blue shirt, but it was nice to see everybody work together and go out there and try to find a water line break. Also, we had some people. I had a couple citizens emailed me regarding how we notify everyone with different things of boil orders. I'm going to read the list that was notified the entire time. I notified Jefferson County 911, Indian Creek School District, Wintersville Fire Department, Wintersville Police Department, the Herald Star, and both local news stations. And we did notify the person that operates our website. So again, I know there's a lot of questions, better ways to notify people. That's a lot of press coverage, what I just named. So I don't know if the emergency system, I know we discussed it, I think when I got here last year, it's pretty expensive. I don't know if citizens would want to, I think they charge you every time you accept a text message or email. But something we can continue to look into. Again, we're working better with the communication, notifying all these people of major incidences. If not, again, call the village building. Call my cell phone, 740-424-1975. Call me, text me, whatever you need, email me, 24/7. Council, you will also see in your sheet, I know Dr. Scarpone, you asked about water breaks for 2022. I did get that list up to date. So the village of Wintersville, out of 25 breaks, we did 17 ourselves, 5 we had assistance on, and 3 of them we subbed out. Tammy and I are trying to find the list dating back 2021, 2020, and 2019. It's been a little tough to find any of the work orders, but Tammy and I have been trying to find that to get you another list for you.
Thank you.
Yep. Also spoke to Mayor of the City of Toronto. They wanted to reaffirm us. They know they haven't put out major press releases or anything, but again, their lab is running every day. They take 2 samples to independent labs twice a week to make sure they stay compliant. And he also assured us with their water system is fairly new. They have pH probes that intake and catch anything before it actually comes to their water plant. So I know water's still been a concern. And again, we purchase ours from the county, who's purchased from the City of Toronto. Jesse and I also, he'll elaborate on our meeting with Quixels, but we did speak to them. We did bring up, with water line breaks like we had when the whole village is kind of losing water and things like that, what are our options for emergency plans so something like that doesn't have to happen again? So we did talk to Quixels about that. Hopefully at our next meeting with them, they will have some ideas and we will bring those forward once we get a few things from Quixels. Want to congratulate both the boys and girls Indian Creek basketball teams. They both had an excellent season. Hopefully continue that for next year. Our new administrator has been doing an excellent job. Just want to let council know he's been working day and night. I asked him if he wanted us to purchase a mattress to leave in his office possibly. He's been here a ton, working nonstop, so just want to let you guys know his dedication is definitely unmatched by anybody. Also, our sewer department, we had a employee want to go to part-time. I believe that wasn't too long ago. He has asked to come back to being full-timed starting Monday, so Jesse and I did approve that because it's already a position that we already had. So we did get an update today. Our camera project for all the different locations we were doing throughout the village, including this building with updates. It should be completed 100% by the end of next week. I believe they're waiting on one more camera. So as long as that comes in, it should be completed by the end of next week. What else we got here? I believe on the Wintersville, Ohio Community Bulletin page, which again is not a page that has anything to do with the village. We don't operate, we don't own it. A person asked, "Where's all the money, Mayor? Voters would like some answers." Well, we found some money, and we found some debt as well. So I'm guessing her question, the citizen, would have been from what was posted on Friday, December 3rd, 2023 on Facebook on the Wintersville, Ohio Community Bulletin Board by a former employee, and I quote, "The village is so set up for failure. They have no idea what's going to happen. They have been exceeding their expenditures over their revenues. They are surviving off their carryover balances, which they will soon exhaust. Wait and watch. Don't let this administration fool you that they know what's going on. I'm stepping away because I won't be part of this dismal failure." End of quote. Again, both of those on a page not owned by us. So let's get some answers to a few things here. Where's the money? So one, we found some money unexpectedly, right? Which I think somebody can discuss when we get down to new business. $250,000 in a CD. So we did find that. Also, our clerk is going through past practices of everything that has completely been done incorrectly for a very long time. And our new administrator has discovered also that we are delinquent on property taxes. You guys have this in your packet?
What's the number?
The grand total that we're delinquent on is $138,000. I'll give you an exact number. $138,368.49 to be exact.
How's this happen?
From the looks of it, it's very easy. So you file a form to the state to be tax exempt. Now we have 72 parcels, Jesse.
72.
I'm not sure how many are on this page that are.
I believe these are 25. There's 26. I count 26.
There's 26 we're delinquent on.
Is there a reason?
I can elaborate if you want.
Go ahead.
All right, so here's what's happening. So we had I think there was 5 past delinquent accounts that were on my desk. They were put on my desk. I really didn't know what they were at the time, so I kind of put them off to the side. And our administrative assistant came back and said, these need paid, and there was a list of what needs paid, what was past due. So I'm looking at it thinking it was somebody in the village, but this turned out to be our partials. So myself and Tammy Straka did some research, and the mayor did research, and we own 72 pieces of property or plots in the village of Wintersville. 26 of them are delinquent. So what that means is when they purchased the property, or had the property, within 1 year, you have to file for exempt taxes, which is a DTE 23 through the state. They did not do that. So what happens is it becomes a regular property. They have it listed as commercial. They have it listed as agricultural. So what we have to do is we have to pay this $138,000, $138,368.49. After we pay that, we will then file for exempt status on these properties. The rest of the properties are exempt. Not all of them were. So we've got anywhere from $5.13 up to $36,000 in back taxes. Apparently, there's other places that have this, but we have this problem, and we need to get it paid. So we talked with the auditor. We're going to go to the recorder. We talked to them. We're going to pull all 72 of our deeds, and then we will find which the exact amount is what I stated, and this will be paid. So Melanie decided to do some adjustment of the schedule or of the budget, and took what was in the contingency and put that in a line item for tax delinquency, so we could pay the $138,000. Now, the bad thing is what's going to happen is we will only get 3 years back of those taxes on each partial. So if they've been delinquent for 30 years, we're only going to get 3 years to back. So I don't know what that's going to add up to yet. We haven't got that far. So after we do that, we file the tax work with the state and with the local for the exempt forms. Wait for that to go through, and then we apply for our refund, which I don't know what the total is yet. So that's kind of where we're at. But so right now our budget in the general fund is a little over $368,000. And that doesn't include money that's coming in at the end of the month or the taxes that are coming in for the first part of the year at the end of this month, I think, which is over $100,000. So we pay that. We'll be out of, we won't be delinquent anymore. We'll have all our deeds in hand, pay our bills, and then we could move on and file the exempt paperwork and be done with this. And we asked the auditor, well, what's the worst can happen? He's like, this is just going to compound more and more penalties and, over the years. But we know this needs paid, and we're going to pay it. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
So I have a question about this.
Yes.
So I know as a property owner, I receive tax papers every year. So does the village get those papers, the bills every year on all of these?
Yes. So what happened is I was organizing the office. I noticed a stack of tax forms in a locked desk, in a locked part of the office. I looked at it, I figured I really didn't get a chance to go into depth. I just put them off to the side. I figured they were tax issues with the village or something like that with, residents or whatever. After we were talking about, we did all this research and we looked at the partials. I thought about it. I went back and opened up the envelopes. The envelopes were open, but the tax forms that you get with the perforated sides were not open. And I opened up one, and there was a partial for this, for a land that we own here, a piece of property here, and there. They were in a stack. So apparently they were taken, put into a locked personnel drawer in the office, in the administrator's office, because it's one you have to have a key for, where personnel is. And that's where they were at.
So it seems like it was almost just being avoided to not pay the back taxes.
It could possibly.
But that it's going to continue to accrue.
Yes.
And this was never brought up whenever any of the budgets were discussed the last couple of years.
So what did happen, what I think happened was, from the prior administrator was not here, the fiscal officer then had the mail, because the village administrator usually gets all the mail, or if it's mailed to him or whatever, because I get mail now. So she put that on my desk to let me know this is what what was going on. She had, I think there was 5 of them. They were put on my desk that needed paid. Nobody else knew the rest of the 21 of them until we did research, myself and Tammy, and that's what we come up with. And then we called the auditor's office, we called the recorder's office, we called the assessor's office, and now we've got a lot of people working on it. So that's where we're at.
Thank you. I didn't mean to put you on the spot,
No,
because I
you're
know
fine.
this isn't your fault, but
No, you're all right.
I just like
No,
to
I'll answer it.
know
So,
how it happened.
make a long story short, we got correspondence on some parcels of land to pay taxes, and whoever received them stuck them in a box and didn't pay any attention to them whatsoever.
Correct.
Because we have dates clear back from 1968, as I'm assuming it's been delinquent,
Yes.
to 2020.
Yes.
I got a question. Do they come in like one parcel per envelope? Or is it
No.
one envelope and they're all on?
It just depends.
I got a stack of envelopes. I haven't gone through all of them. I think it might be just one envelope with a bunch of parcels in it. I don't know. But
It used to come one parcel at a time, but now the county, since recent, maybe EJ Kahn came in, it's all in the same envelope.
it's a
most
yellow
of them.
envelope.
Yeah.
20 of these are from 2000 and before. And then we got 5 from 2005 on to 2020.
Right, and one of them is this police station, when they bought it in '98 off the fire department.
This whole building.
This whole building's delinquent, $12,895.
So those are the next 3 lines.
So also 2,400, also 16,528 on the different parcels. So it would be this and the parcels all around.
Is there any negotiation on this at all? Is there a way we can negotiate and get these reduced?
As of now, no. It's we have to pay it, or what other places do is they just let it go, and they just keep accruing penalties. But I think a lot of us are on the same page where if I don't pay my taxes and I'm a resident here, it affects everybody. And they come take my house, put a lien on it, We've got to lead by example. So, and I asked him, I said, are there any ways that we can get this reduced, or is there something else that we can do? And he's like, no. He said, you just got to pay it. So there was options of paying half of it now, half of it later, or we just pay it all, which we can, and be done with it. So that's kind of what's going on right now.
Do you accrue interest through the year?
Yes.
Okay.
There's interest and penalties. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So it'd be better to pay it all
So,
now.
yes.
The sooner the better. Yes.
From last year to this year, it went up. It was $134,000, $134,066.41. That would be last year. So the first half and the second half both were $21.54 and $21.47, which now we're at up to $138,000 for $134 for a year. So,
Significant.
yeah.
So we don't have any recourses except to pay this, and the people who should have been doing their job on this, we can't do anything, hold them responsible for anything.
Right now, no. We just have to pay it.
We have to pay it, and then we have to send in the forms and pray that we get something back for the past 3 years. But
Now, Melanie, who's doing a great job with our numbers, I am assuming that she still thinks that we are healthy,
Yes. Yes, we are healthy.
contrary to popular belief.
Yes, we are. Like I said, she's still working on the budget, and
for the record, she will be here at the April 6th meeting because her schedule was chaotic, but she is going to be here for the council meeting. We'll have a budget passed. We have to pass our budget, our final budget, by April 1st. So we will have our budget ready. We have the money. Like I said, we have money coming in every month. With the end of the month, with $100,000 coming in from taxes, starting, we pay 138. We're at 366, 362. We're going to be okay.
We need to schedule finance meetings as well, because Melanie is going to explain a lot of things that she has found already, even though she's not done. A lot of the ways the budgets were done were incorrect. A lot of the line items were incorrect. The police department not being in their own fund was incorrect. Even the street department not being in their own fund was incorrect. And she will explain all that to you guys, all of council, and then she will also be, as he said, the April 6th meeting.
So what does that mean, that the police don't have their separate fund? What does that mean?
Police have always been pulled out of the general fund. They should have been in their own fund.
So explain that to me, that the money didn't go to the police department?
No,
Or it's
so
just in a different
for
fund?
example, if Lou had, say, 200,000 in his budget and he only spent 150, if that was still in his own fund,
It should
he
stay
could
there.
come back and say, hey, I got $50,000. I need a police cruiser. I have the money in my budget. Will you guys approve it? And we make the appropriations. When it's in the general fund, the money can be spent however certain people wanted to spend it
So our cops were shorted again.
for years. And it'll come out in her report.
And what was the date she's going to show up for this?
April 6th.
April 6th.
If you look at these bills, they're paid on time without the fees, maybe $10,000, basically $128,000 overpriced. If you add them all up, wasted. 54 years ago.
So if they were paid, it'd only be
Maybe 10 grand.
10 grand?
Yeah.
So they just kicked it down the road till somebody found it?
I mean,
or
1968.
The county took the property?
I mean, 1968, if you had paid it, it had $990. Now you're paying $13,000.
So now, some of those have a zero tax due, but some of them may have like $1 or $2 for a mandated. But that's something with a structure on it, so you're looking at pennies on a dollar when you pay.
And a simple letter that
When you
would have
pay
been
it on
sent in
time.
would have taken care of it.
Yeah, if they just would have,
It's
yes.
very easy.
You have to know about all the adjustments that were made here too, so it'd been a lot cheaper, maybe probably less than 10,000.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Jake is right. If they would have filed for exemption, it wouldn't have been anything. Okay, well, that's the end of the mayor's report. We'll move on to the administrator's report.
Well, you pretty much covered it all there, buddy. Real quick, something I didn't include, I just thought about the new meters, the new water meters that are coming into Wintersville. I don't know if I put in my last report, but I talked to the gentleman that's overseeing it. Everything is ready to go. The grant is paid for it, the loan, it's all paid for. He's waiting on computer chips out of Texas. Have no idea when it's going to be, when they're going to be done, when they're going to be ready. It could be next month, it could be 2 weeks, or it could be 6 months from now. But when it comes in, it's going to be probably a week and a half job. They're going to have everything all hooked up. It's going to be a full job. So we're on the priority list of, the top of getting it done. So I just want to let you know about that. Everything is just sitting in limbo, waiting.
So are you going to personally check that the job's done?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Before we cut the check?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so the village's cyber insurance policy was renewed again for this year. This is something that they do every year. Captain Fabian of the Wintersville Police Department, who's also the village's IT contractor, gave me some insight and guidance on the coverage that we should go with. So that's all taken care of through McBain. He talked about the water break, talked about the fiscal officer. She also gave every department head from street, water, sanitation, and wastewater a copy of their budget, kind of taught them a little bit about budgeting and how to do things.
I'd like to reiterate that that was never done before.
Correct. Yes, correct. That was never done before. We've got George Kovach got his budget. Randy from the street department got his budget. So we have wastewater yet and sanitation. They will come up next week when she's here. Each department head from the police, the mayor, the village administrator was given a copy of the budget. She talked to me as well. She also gave the village clerks around the state of Ohio belong to UAN, which is United Accounting Network through the state of Ohio. So she put me on. I have access to it in case something would happen where I need to jump in the chair. I could make a change or something. She could help me out if somebody was not available. She could remote access, and I could get in there and maybe pay a bill, an emergency or something that needs done, or the auditors need something quickly. I can do that. It's just part of checks and balances. I think it's a good thing. She did talk to me and taught me a little bit about using the system, which is very user-friendly. Also, on the one page, which I don't think I have listed, is the car wash that's opening up on 43. The one page shows that they had an issue with the last thing that they have to do is hook up electric. So they were going to go directly across Caddis Road over would be towards Burger King to hook up to electric. They couldn't do that. They were going to go down along the property line across Floyd Street to hook up to another area. They couldn't do that, so they ended up going out of the entrance to their business on Caddis Roadside, going diagonal. And if you've seen yesterday, Asplunda was cutting trees down on the west side of the mural wall. That's where they're going to hook up. And once they get hooked up there, they should be opening up very soon. Let's see here. State purchasing, we belong to Ohio Procurement, which is state purchasing. They automatically, we always check and renew. They automatically enrolled us this year. That's what they do now. They just automatically enroll people from the prior year. So that saves on money when we purchase products through state pricing. Also was given access to OPWC, Ohio Public Works Commission, for applications for present projects that need to be caught up on, and for future as well. Met with Quicksall Engineering about Moon Valley project, talked about a couple other things, past projects, future projects, also the reducing I&I on the rest of the village that has not been completed yet. The elevator went out the other day. It was repaired, same day. Assisted the police department in completing their yearly 2023 EMS grant. This grant's usually used for AEDs, CPR updates, training, and equipment updates. I helped them out with that. In reference to East Palestine and the water issue, Water Supervisor George Kovach had a meeting out at the Jefferson County Water and Sewer Department on 2/22. This year, talked with different water operators around the county. They've been doing more extensive testing on top of what the EPA requires. If you look at my pages, there's also a letter from James Jenkins from Steubenville, who does our wastewater operator, does our testing. He gave us a letter that was typed out and sent out, and an update for Steubenville water, and the testing as well. We do our testing. Everything was good. Steubenville's was fine. So that's where we're at on there. I just want to let you know about that. Also, AFLAC will be in the village on March 7th at 8 a.m. to discuss a supplementary accident hospital and other types of insurance that they offer to employees. Any village employee is more than welcome to stop up and speak with a representative in the main office. That's all I have.
One last thing on Melanie. She has been in touch with our auditors from the state of Ohio with her background, so that she has been keeping them in the loop with issues she has found as they continue to do their reporting as well. So, thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome. Welcome.
Got a question. We understand Melanie's gonna be here on April 6th, for the council meeting, or is she gonna have something before that?
She'll probably be working here all day, and she'll come and just stay at the council meeting.
And it was briefly discussed the importance of having a finance meeting, short. Will she be present at that as well?
Yeah,
Yeah, she will. You want me to get?
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. She wants to have a finance meeting because it's going to be the main topic of going over the budget and showing everyone here how it should work and what different numbers mean. So she wanted to do that in a finance meeting. It could be pretty long, so if we got to do a couple of them. And we also need to pass the final budget before April 1st, which means we have to do it at our next meeting.
I think the sooner the better.
Yes, we need to do it
When you have
ASAP. We haven't, I believe she said, is that right? We haven't done the final budget.
Correct.
We haven't passed the final budget since 2017. It was always put in just as the original appropriations that could be the final. But we have to pass the final before April 1st.
Has any dates been thrown out there for just a
Go ahead, Jesse.
guide?
Okay, so she's going to be working here the 7th and 8th of March and the 13th and 14th. And she's here usually minimum 12 hours. So if you guys can make it those days, she will be here.
Carmen, you're on finance, right? What, can you make it the 7th or 8th?
Yep, good.
Which one? You pick.
Doesn't matter. 7th, 8th.
7th, I would prefer, I do have a Seven Ranges Fire District meeting on the 8th. I am free the 13th and 14th as well, currently.
So Gail isn't here. Who has to call
Right.
that?
She won't make it the first week. I
So
spoke
can we
to her
call
today.
that?
She says she could do the 13th.
So if him and I can be there, can't we call it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, and then we could do another one because the budget's always week after week.
yes.
7th,
So this,
13th, I mean, sorry.
so we're calling it for the 7th at 6, a finance meeting?
I can do the 7th. I could also do the 13th
7th?
or 14th.
So
So
let's
whatever's
do-
good with you.
She's here the 7th and 8th, so let's do the 7th at 6.
So the 7th
7th
and
to 6th
6th.
for
Finance.
finance meeting. That's the one, Gail's on the finance committee. She won't be able to make it. But if we can have another tentative meeting scheduled for the 13th, if you like, when she comes back.
We could do that.
I would, yeah, tentative for sure. I think we're going to possibly need 2 of them.
Okay. So the 7th, the
6
first
p.m.
one, and then the 13th for the second one.
On the 7th.
Thank you.
If council's okay with it, does everyone mind if we start having, I know tonight's committee meeting was pretty quick and there wasn't a lot of people, but I think everyone, do you guys mind start having committee meetings up here so we have a little more space to actually work instead of having it downstairs?
That's fine.
Good idea.
All right.
So that's at 6 o'clock on the 7th?
Yeah.
Yes, March 7th, 6 PM at the Village Building will be a Finance Committee meeting.
And you said the 13th, when Gail's back.
Yeah, it's the
Do you
10th.
want to, that's the tentative
Yeah.
one?
We could
So the
change.
tentative one will be March 13th at 6 PM will be another Finance Committee meeting. That one, that's the tentative.
All right, I'll let her know.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. On to unfinished business.
I have some.
Go ahead, Penny.
I was just wondering if we had the stop and slow signs for the street department. So after directing traffic for 3 hours, you realize how difficult that is holding, the mic. And so could we get street signs that say the stop and the slow? And it'd be better for Seth,
I don't know if they have that or not. We'll find out.
because I saw that on 43 today, the electrical.
You mean the big turn ones?
Yeah, the big turn ones.
We do have those.
Do we?
Now that you said that, yeah. I don't know if they got misplaced or where they're at over in the, maybe they just didn't grab them.
Just,
No, but that's a good
it'd be
point.
easier,
Yeah.
for our
no,
one worker to deal with traffic.
No, that's good. We discussed that day too about, looking into the possibility of having either an enclosed trailer or something to have this stuff ready to
Ready.
go, at all times, so that immediately if there's a water break, we have exactly what we need. Because it seems like all of '22, we were trying to do that, but it just didn't happen, and we were grabbing stuff all over. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. And then I just wanted to see, is it approved in the village to, for an employee to clock in and leave for an hour to do personal errands for about 3 to 5 years every day, Monday through Friday?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
That is considered stealing.
So we don't do that here?
We had an employee that did,
Not anymore.
but not anymore. Cost the taxpayers, if I had to estimate, in my opinion, over $15,000 in a matter of 3.5 years.
What about washing your own personal truck at the street garage?
Nope, Jesse and I just handled that with someone the other day when they asked. That is an absolute no.
Okay. And then this is just on a side note. Are we going to terminate the contract to send a letter to Trebell Energy?
We need a motion on that.
Do what? Yeah. For the next year to end the contract with Trebell Energy
For 2024.
for 2024.
Right, yes, because there's a window on the contract that we have to say that it's going to be terminated, and we have to be within that window. If not, then it rolls over to the next year, which we
So
never
can we
knew.
put a motion
Yeah,
for
go
Jake
ahead.
to send a letter? I put forth the motion.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay.
That's all I had.
That it?
Anybody else on their unfinished business?
You talked about the cameras. That's for this building. Are they going to be complete up at the street garage also?
That's the entire project. It should be done by the end of next week. Updating the ones at the 2 parks, the street garage and here. And they are functioning as we speak.
Okay.
It's not that they're not working. They're just, I believe, like I said, I think we're missing one, and then he has to work with Jason on fixing an IT issue, but. Anybody else for unfinished business? Okay, moving on to new business.
We had an ordinance meeting tonight, so pretty much we okayed putting in the nuisance ordinances, so just updating the definition of certain nuances, cutting down the time frame for grass cutting to 5 days. What else? So also cutting down motor vehicles parked in the yard for 15 days. It was 30 days. Also, unlicensed and inoperable motor vehicles and watercrafts stored anywhere for an enclosed building or garage for a period of time or period of more than 10 days causes a blighting effect on surrounded properties. Then we updated, went from building inspector to code enforcement officer instead of building inspector, and that was pretty much the ordinance meeting.
Great.
Can I feather off of that? Eric Hashbarger is the officer taking care of that. Kid's been here for a couple of weeks. Very good job communicating with us in the ordinance meeting, bringing up his concerns, and we had a nice little discussion. So hats off to Eric, and he actually give us his number in case we do see something. So it was greatly appreciated to talk to the young man for, 30 minutes, and he's getting to communicate to us some of the issues he's seeing out there. The whole goal here is to try to shorten the response time that we have and get ahead of it. Every spring, we talk about grass, and we talk about, cleaning up the areas that are just habitual offenders. And Lou Vanderborn put it exactly right. It's a very, very small fraction of Wintersville, but we do encompass the whole village. We want to move forward and keep this place going well and making it look good. So again, it's a very small fraction of individuals here, but the troublemakers, we just need to tighten things up. And I think Mr. Hashberger and Mr. Vanderborn expressed that well.
And we do have a nuisance committee, right?
We have the nuisance appeal board that's still in place by my appointment last year.
Okay. And that was it.
I got a couple.
Go ahead, Jason.
I got a couple new ordinance things, but first and foremost, it's with a lot of love to say, hey, Betty Mattern, happy birthday today. My mother turned 80, so I'm very happy about that. The handicap signs, did we ever get anywhere on that, Jesse, on how handicap signs are authorized throughout the village to be parking? Is that still work in progress?
Still work in progress.
Thank you. I did get to talk to Keith last week about the posting of the minutes. I just want to, and Keith says, well, he posts whatever Tammy gives him. I just want to make sure that Tammy's given him the final approved minutes on those, that they get posted. Just if we could double check all those, just to make sure. Keith's doing a good job of posting, but he's not, he may not be aware of if they've been approved or not.
Me and Tammy actually spoke about that, and she's gonna make sure that she delays it until she gets the final approved minutes so this meeting, once they're approved, she's gonna turn them over to be posted.
Okay.
Because we're not really posting the correct minutes if we're posting them and then going back and forth. So we did have that discussion, me and Tammy.
Okay. A couple other things here. Ran into a resident over on Ellsworth that was having some drainage issues at 121. Jesse, I'm not sure if now's the time to go check on the drainage issues or maybe knock on that door over there at 121. Not sure where the drainage is coming from, but he has had that in the past. So 121 Ellsworth. I did see over at the park on Meadow and Garden that a lot of the tree stumps and stuff was, the tree that fell down was cut up. That's good. There's a lot of sticks and twigs left behind. Do we know when those will be addressed?
We're getting prices for tree removals right now, trying to get people out here. We have a bunch of trees that are needed to be chopped up, cut up, and moved. So Tom Strzok is doing that right now.
Okay, that's excellent. Charlene, great job with the SVRTA as I was going to work today. It was about 7:15, so a little later than normal, okay? And I pull out of Garden Drive and I see the SVRTA bus. I says, what's going on here? They actually stopped in front of the graveyard out there and dropped a young man off. Must be going to work over there. So we appreciate that. Jake, great job as well. You detailed to us recently, the efforts that you put forth over the last year, and greatly appreciated. You're doing a good job. I'd like to see you here for another year or two, okay?
Thank you.
We also mentioned the gun bash, but also I'm pretty confident Jefferson County Humane Society is having an event, and I do believe it's the 11th of this, maybe it's St. Patrick's Day. If we could just make a little mention of that, put it up on the board down there. It's outstanding efforts that those guys put down there. And if we could we have a quick executive session to discuss personnel, 5 minutes before we get out of here?
Yep, if you're making that motion, then you just need a second and then the vote to go into
I'd like to
session.
make that motion to have a quick discussion on personnel, executive session.
Second.
So move.
And so if you're going to take a look at this section 1 here, it shows you what information you can go into the executive session for. You can be a little more specific than just personnel.
To consider dismissal and discipline. Thank you.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay.
Going to do it now, or you want to?
Well, it's up to you guys. Good.
And you have to invite.
Can Jesse and the solicitor
Yeah, I'd like to invite Jesse, of course,
and the mayor?
Jake Lynn, and it'd be nice to have Lou Vanderborn as well.
What about the mayor?
Oh, Mayor's in.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Nope.
Yeah.
Make a motion to come out of executive session?
Second.
Should I go with the rest of this packet now? We might be here all night.
Well, I don't know. What else we,
You guys got to do roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay.
All right, continuing under new business.
Anything else?
I mean,
I'd like to make a couple of motions. This is due to the vacancies that we have now in the village. I want to make a couple of motions that will be used to obtain a common goal. Some are due to new information that has come to light recently. The first part of this goal is to name who can be recognized to have the authority to sign financial documents such as paychecks, as well as daily, monthly functions associated with the Village of Wintersville. This would be the primary, secondary, and 2 alternate people agreed upon by council to take on this responsibility. The reason for this motion is to have checks and balances in place to monitor the village monies more closely and to have adequate backup for this process, not to mention that it was done incorrectly in the past. So the primary person is obviously going to be the new fiscal officer when one gets appointed. So that'll be by default. The secondary, I'm going to propose would be the chair of the Finance Committee, and then the 2 alternates, I'm going to propose President of Council and the Village Administrator. The alternates will be used when 2 signatures are needed and the primary or secondary is unavailable. If a document requires 3 signatures, then the alternate will become an active signature. So when we pick the new fiscal officer, that person will be by default the primary signature. I'd like to make a motion to name Village of Wintersville Chair of Finance Committee, Gail Damron, as a secondary person to have the authority to sign financial documents such as payroll checks, as well as daily and monthly functions associated with the Village of Wintersville. Need a second?
Second.
Any questions? Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. I would like to make a motion to name Village of Wintersville President of Council Randy Spence as the alternate person to have the authority to sign financial documents such as payroll checks, as well as daily and monthly functions associated with the Village of Wintersville.
Second.
Any questions? Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. I'd like to make a motion to name Village of Wintersville Village Administrator Jesse Kasegi as the alternate person to have the authority to sign financial documents such as payroll checks, as well as daily and monthly functions associated with the Village of Wintersville.
Second.
Any questions? Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence, yay. I would also like to make a motion to remove any names from the past that were listed or otherwise recognized as authorized signatures that had the authority to sign financial documents such as payroll checks, as well as daily and monthly functions associated with the Village of Wintersville. Need a second?
Second.
Any questions? Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. The second part of these motions pertain to information that was acquired at our last public finance meeting on February 15th, 2023. The reason for the presented changes is that the majority of council and the mayor himself did not know that supposedly 2 CDs with a considerable amount of money existed on behalf of the village of Wintersville. It was never mentioned in previous finance meetings. It was never discussed during budget talks and could not be found in budget documents from the past. This money was also recently moved within the last year to another bank, and council still was not informed of this move. We are still trying to get information on the purpose of this money. Where did the money originate from, and what the reason why the CD was created. We are also trying to find out who currently has access to the CD. With keeping total transparency in mind for the public, I will read emails that I was included in on from our current administrator and the bank where the CD was opened. February 16th, 2023, 9:48 a.m. An email was generated by our administrator, Jesse Kasegi, to the bank in question. The names of the bank and the bank personnel are withheld. Good morning. My name is Jesse Kasegi. I am the new village administrator for the village of Wintersville. I was told by one of your employees that you were out of the office today. I did leave you a quick voicemail and wanted to follow up with an email as well. The reason for the email is that we were just told that we have 2 CDs currently with your bank. Can you confirm if this is true? If so, can you give me all their information on it? For a lot of us, this is news to us, which leads me to my next question. Other than our village account we have already established with you, what other accounts, if any, do we have with you? Our fiscal officer left her position this week. We have a temporary fiscal officer that will be working here from the state auditor's office. She will be coming in on Wednesday, February 22nd, 2023. Feel free to call me or email me regarding this issue. Thank you for your time in this manner. Jesse Kasegi, Village Administrator, Village of Wintersville. Reply from the original email to the bank. Tuesday, February 21st, 2023, 1:16 p.m. Jesse, here's the information I have found on the CD that was there. It was opened on 10/27/2017. The signature card I have on file was signed by Denise Jean Angel, Robert Merriman, and Walter Zimba for the CD opening. The CD was then closed by Denise Jean Angel on 7/28/22. The worth of the CD is $250,001.85. And from what my tellers remember, this was taken to another bank for a better rate. If there's anything else I may be able to help you with, please let me know. Thank you. Tuesday, February 21st, 2023 at 2:45 p.m. The mayor, myself, and the bank person that is not named received the following email from the village administrator. There is a CD at bank, name withheld. I just talked with the bank person from the bank. She cannot tell me anything about the CD since I'm not on it. I advised her of the situation thus far. She can't do anything other than keep an eye on it since we don't know whose name is on the CD. I, Jesse, CD'd the bank person on this email so I can get a paper trail started and she knows what we are doing on our end. I'm also going to try and type a letter up to the bank. Second, let me know who is going to be on the CD as a signature. We don't know who's going to be taken off because they cannot give us this information. When we get the new signatures on, everyone else comes off. Also, can we get all the information we need? Also, can I get all the information we need that I cannot get at this time? That was a screw up on my part. I will draft a letter up with the names of who is going to sign. Bank person advised we can send the meeting minutes when we have our next meeting. Thank you for your time in this matter, Jesse Kasegi. And another note, the bank where the CD was moved to is headquartered in West Virginia. So until we appoint a new fiscal officer whose name will be added at that time, I'd like to make a motion to add the Village of Wintersville Chair of the Finance Committee, Gail Damron, on the authorization list for the bank CD in question.
Second.
Hang on 1 second. Any questions? Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. I would also like to make a motion to add the Village of Wintersville Council President Randy Spence on the authorization list for the bank CD in question for backup.
Second.
Any questions? Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yes. Yay. Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. That's all I have right now. Thank you.
I'd like to put forth a motion from this date forward that we do background checks on village employees, and we were doing them on the cops, and we're not sure when they stopped, but I'd like to put forth a motion from this date forward.
Second. Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay.
Hey, Jake, speak. Go ahead, Jake.
I can't remember if you made this motion in the beginning, but we need a motion to appoint a council person to perform the clerk's duties tonight, as we don't have a clerk.
No, we didn't make that motion yet.
If someone can make that motion to appoint a council person to take minutes and to sign the ordinances, test the ordinances.
I'd like to put forth a motion to appoint somebody as clerk to, accept the motions and ordinances and take call.
Who are you appointing?
Randy Spence,
Okay.
you do such a good job at it.
You're on a roll. You're gonna start bringing more water.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Okay.
Fine job, Randy.
Anybody else under new business?
I think we need more comfortable chairs.
Noted. You can ask Melanie when we do the budget.
Just a joke.
All right, there's no transfers, as we did the ordinance where Melanie already had that. So, do we need a motion to pay any bills? Jesse, there was none.
I think we had any
Nothing.
bills.
Yeah,
I don't think I saw any in the packet.
No.
yep, so there's no payment of bills, so we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Mr. Mattern?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay.
This meeting is adjourned. Our next scheduled meeting is March 16th, 2023 at 7 PM. Thank you.